Okay, welcome to this tutorial, and my name is Tokona Rage, government name Tokona Mrapa, and I'm going to be demonstrating how I use my tone curves in Lightroom Mobile 2020 style. So let's just jump into the application. So I use my phone to take pictures a lot on a daily basis, and my go-to app when I'm editing the pictures is Lightroom Mobile. So first of all, you need to know what tone curves are. Tone curves are one of the most powerful tools that you'll find in Lightroom Mobile. They affect the overall brightness and contrast of an image. By adjusting the tone curves, you can make an image brighter or darker. So let's just demonstrate this concept. So let's just pick this first picture. So what I did is, for each picture I made sure that I made a few adjustments. I cropped them to a ratio of 4:5 and I adjusted the lighting. So I changed the exposure, contrast, highlights, shadows, and the whites, and including the blacks too, according to my liking and style. So these are the tone curves. So the first tone curve that you're going to find is the general tone curve. That's the white tone curve, right? It affects the overall outlook of your image. And the next one is the red tone curve. The next one is the green tone curve, and the last one is the blue tone curve. So for an image like this, right, I like the image to be a little bit dark and moody. So what I do, I use my own tone curve that's a little bit like dark or moody on the edge. So what I do first is I add points on my tone curve like this. Add one here, add one here, add one here. So I have to make sure that they're straight on the point and the line is straight. So what you need to know is, like, this part of the tone curve makes your image darker, and this part of your tone curves makes your image brighter, and this part here are your mid-tones. So let me just place them back. Okay. So what I do is I will bring it down like this, since I said I want to make it dark and moody, and then I go in between the square here and I bring it down a little bit like this. So now you can tell that the image has become a little bit darker and the blacks are now actually showing out. So what I need to do next is to go to my reds and adjust them like this, bring them down here. Now it has a little bit of green, so we need to adjust the greens. Go down here, adjust them down again, or take them here up until we get an even color. That's when we actually be able to move to the next tone curve like this. Yeah, that's better to my liking. Okay, let me just take it down a little bit. Okay, yeah, that's better. So this is the last tone curve. This is the blue tone curve, so I would bring it down here, bring it up here on the brighter side, make an S type of curve. So if you don't really like the yellow to the image, what you can do, you can actually desaturate it so that you can remove the yellows. You go over here by the colors and then you desaturate it, and you see the yellows are not completely gone, but you can actually even remove them by going to the color, selecting the color specifically like yellow and desaturating it again. But I'm not going to cover that part in this tutorial, so let's move on to the next image. So for this image, I'm going to be using the basic tone curve. That's the S tone curve that you actually taught when you're learning how to use your tone curves. So let's just wait for the image to load and then we get right to it. Yeah, now that we have opened the tone curve, so let me demonstrate how you actually in place the tone curve. So you put your points first here, here, and here. So firstly, what I do, I adjust my brighter parts like this, and I go to the dark parts, I adjust them like this up until my tone curve becomes an S like this. Now that's better. I take it down a little bit here. That's not bad. let's go to our reds, take them down a bit. That's fine. Our greens, take them down a bit. Okay, let me go here. Okay, that's okay. And let's go to our blues, bring them up like this. The first tone curve, the tone curve I showed you before on the blue, bring it to an S like that. Now that's better. Now let's move on to the other last image. And so on this image I'm going to show you the tone curve that I use on majority of the pictures that I edit. So this tone curve is like the reverse version of the dark tone curves that I showed you at first. So it goes like this. Put your mark, you point here, sorry. Point here, point here, and the point there. So this one makes the image a little bit brighter. And you go to your reds, decrease them like this. Your greens, decrease them like this. And your blues, you put the earth again, like this. And now you see your image is better and your tones are actually turn out better. So let's now look at the before and after of the three images again. So here we go. This is the before, this is the after. Waiting for it to load. This is the before, this is the after. This is the before, and this is the after. So you can actually tell that the tone curves actually play an important role when you're editing the pictures, and they bring tons of colors in the pictures and they make them much more better. You can actually use the more technical words to explain it, but for me I just want to use the basic words so that you guys can understand. So what I encourage you guys to do is to use the tone curves much more when you're actually editing your pictures using Lightroom Mobile. And for now, this is it, and this is what I needed to show you 2020 style when I'm actually using my tone curves. So don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet to my channel. And thank you very much for actually watching this video.